Donington Park is the site for the latest round of the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship here on Apex Racing TV. My name is Andrew Woodhouse and I'm alongside Adam Bath, bringing you all the action from this famous circuit in the Midlands. Well, Donington Park has seen many great races in the past, including Formula One, British and World Superbikes, MotoGP, British Touring Car Championship, and the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship is no exception. It's one that we haven't visited too often, Adam Bath, because of the grid sizes, but happy to be here once again. I know one of your favourite circuits, and one that it's quite rare actually to see you not in the car at this event.
I know, yeah, because the last time we were here was probably the time I was in the car back in what, 2014 or something. It's been a long time. Obviously, we've had the Pro Series since then, but now we're back and we've got we're just looking through the timing screens now. As many as 36 cars getting set to race around the circuit today, which is probably one of my favourite tracks on the iRacing Sim, and the BSRTC, I'm sure, going to do it justice, especially looking at how close the times are in the qualifying session, which we've got up on the screen now.
Yeah, we were watching qualifying with sort of amazement, really, looking at the times going in and seeing how close it was. And in the end, it was Wojciech Svidovic who came out on top with a 109.380, just edging ahead of Jack Sedgwick, his Evolution Racing team teammate. In second place, George Simmons in third. He was briefly on pole. Ash Sutton fourth. Sven Glatzel in fifth for V-Racer. And then Alex Simpson, who was on pole briefly. Dave Baker in seventh for CQR. Then Dan Hunt, who's running, I still believe, as a privateer. I'm not certain about that still. But Stephen Baxter in ninth. Then Ross McFarlane in 10th. Christian Rose 11th and 12th for Pete Harrod. 13th place lies Stelian Chepelevsky, with Chris Wood in 14th, 15th for Adam McNally, 16th Paul Smith, Robert Graham in 17th, 18th for Mark Woodhouse, 19th place is Adam Hedgecock for Boosted Motorsport, and then Lorne Murray in 20th for Automatic Knockhill, John Roberts in 21st, then Will Daniels in 22nd, James McRitchie in 23rd, just a second separating the top 21 drivers, by the way. Scott Malcolm in 24th place, and then into lower reaches of the grid, where we will find Dan Brown in 25th, and then Michael Blake, 26th, and Luke Cooper, and then Magic Sakovic in 28th, 29th for Sean Gardner, 30th for Tyler Vickery, and then the ones at the back, I assume, have got penalties: Jamie Rushworth, Kip Stevens, Max Wright, Stuart Atkinson, Robert Lundgren, and Stuart McFadden rounds up the 36-car grid. Well, any moment now, the lights will be on and we'll be getting ready for the start here at Donington Park. Who will make it into turn one first? We'll find out very shortly as the 5 red lights come on. Green light is on. We are away. It's a terrific start by Wojciech Svidovic. Really dragged away from the line beautifully. And he's already a couple of car lengths ahead of George Simmons, who goes into second place. Jack Sedgwick on the outside. Evolution Racing Team will be hoping the cars don't collide into each other as much as they did in round 2 of the season. And there's a contact already in Glatzel, and round goes Sedgwick going through Hollywood, Adam.
Not a start he would have wanted. Contact with the V-Racer and the Evolution Racing Team. Now he's just got to hope that doesn't crash into anybody into the old hairpin, which is what I did to Alex Simpson, of course. Sven Glatzel, slowdown penalty potentially, or he's picked up some damage to the front as well as...
Off goes an Excite Energy round. Now 54. And then there's another contact going up the hill again.
Oh, dear
more
me.
cars off, more crashing.
I think the fact is everybody's...
It's all a bit rough and tumble at the beginning of the race.
Not everybody's serving slowdowns, but the drivers that are serving slowdowns can't get out of the way, and they're just causing absolute pandemonium behind. One driver that hasn't got to worry about any of that is this guy.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, Wojciech Svidovic, who's got a new paint scheme. Everybody at Evolution Racing Team's got a new paint scheme for this week, and he leads at the end of the opening lap with Simmons in second.
Yeah, Svidovic taking advantage then of a really brilliant start, it has to be said, for the 3-time champion of the BSRTC.
You can see who's gained the most places at the end of the opening lap. Jamie Rushworth, the biggest gainer by far. Sven Glatzel's continuing to tumble down the order. He's off at Redgate, that's what it is for the German. Let's have a quick look and see what happens here. The car's already a bit damaged. He's got a couple of Team Maz cars behind him. He gets a tiny little nudge.
his car bounced across the curb at Redgate, and then yeah, just a little bobble, and then a tiny bit of netcode maybe, and that did for him. Started in 5th Glatzel, all the way down now to 34th place. He's still going, and I hope he can finish the race and get himself a chance at least at the reverse grid pole. Into the national chicane then for the second time goes Ross McFarlane, and we look from the rear of his V-Racer machine as Wojciech Svidovic into the pits. Did he jump the start at him?
Well, if he jumped the start, you'd think he'd come in at the end of lap 1. Not too sure why he's come in here. Might be worth having a look at the start just to see if he did jump it. We couldn't tell from our angle. But
what on earth is he in the pits for? Did he not put enough fuel in the car maybe? Who knows?
Maybe have a look at the start.
If it is, that's a rookie mistake by one of the most experienced drivers in the field.
8-second stop and he's away. So, that is very weird. Not at all sure what's happened there. But George Simmons leads now. Ash Sutton second, Simpson third. We've lost one of the S's at the front. It's now down to just the trio of them.
Oh my God, what's happening behind them? Oh dear me!
More teammates collided. We saw that last week.
Getting turned. Yeah, that's the V-Racer cars going into combat with each other.
It's just bottling things up behind. Don't know if it's the right time to mention bottling, but through McLean's we go.
Can't see anything.
Oh,
my cameras are not working well at this moment.
Jack Sedgwick and Dan Hunt also in there too. Up the inside goes the Evolution Racing car of Stelian Chapalewski as the voice goes completely. And onto the front straight we go again.
Too many cigarettes for Mr. Bath, I think. As soon as we go across the start-finish line, or not enough maybe, who knows. Harrod into the pits for CQR. I don't know what that's about as well. That's a bit curious. Doesn't look to have any damage. Former Club Series champion then in the lane, getting some service for some reason. Now Simmons is being closed down by Ash Sutton. George Simmons, who very accomplished driver in the series, had several wins over the years, but not really used to leading races.
Oh, and he might not be leading
won that often.
Yeah, he might not be leading it for much longer, as up the inside goes Ash Sutton, and the British Touring Car Champion's got his work cut out now, because Simmons, you mentioned, yeah, doing a good job going around the outside here. It's going to be wheel to wheel between these two. Let's see what Alex Simpson has to say about this. Collided with Alex back at a World GT, well not World GT, a BSR GT race here many years ago. Oh, and Sutton's got it.
Oh wow! Sutton absolutely flew over the curbs here.
I know those.
Remember, he did once take a pole position for the British Touring Car race here, and then I think he got it taken away for cutting the course. So, needs to be careful with those inside curbs.
Got his first ever pole here in his very first year in the MG. En route to the Jack Sears Trophy. It's hard to take your eyes off this battle right now. 5 minutes into it, a quarter of the race gone already, and looks like these three are showing no signs of going away, especially because of the traits of this circuit. You wouldn't think it, but it is quite a good track for slipstreaming. At least that's what I can remember from my days racing here anyway.
There are quite a lot of full throttle sections. Simpson's going to be trying to keep his tyres in good nick, I think. I think that's the best chance he's got of winning the race, is to have some tyres left to try and mount a challenge at the very end. Does seem to have the pace on these two, but they are battling quite hard. They've gapped David Baker now 2.4 seconds back to the former BSRTC champion, who's driving for CQR. Stephen Baxter is in 5th place. Stelian Chepalewski is 6th. Daniel Hunt 7th. Ross McFarlane 8th. Chris Wood leads the AM category 9th, and Christian Rose rounds out the top 10.
It's a relatively close scrap. This is over 11th place. This is Jack Sedgwick. Oh, Adam Hedgecott. I know those curbs are heavy. I've been over them. And he's got Jack Sedgwick in front.
Nice, those curbs are heavy.
Yeah. Here's an interesting scrap, though. It's Paul Smith in 13th with the man of the moment, Jamie Rushworth, behind. Then it's Rob Graham and John Roberts, or should that be Woodhouse and John Roberts, as the Team Mad car goes up the inside into Redgate and is through. That's an inter-am battle going on there.
I think I finally sorted my cameras out. Sorry about that. I've been a little bit blind for the first 6 laps, but managed to somehow get through.
Control F12.
Yeah, Woodhouse having a good.
Yeah.
I know it works very well, doesn't it? Yeah. Speaking of rookie mistakes, John, how long have I been doing this for? John Roberts in 17th place as well, former AM champion in the BSRTC. Of course, Rob Graham for Automatic Knockhill was lurking around that Stelian Chepalewski car. 1, 2, 3 is in 6th place, and that's what 1, 2, 3 adds up to.
Indeed, yeah. A few good songs with that lyric.
He's under pressure from Dan
yeah.
Hunt, by the way, as well.
Yeah, he is. Dan Hunt in 7th place. Ross McFarlane keeping a watchful eye too. Of course, those V-Racer cars of Baxter and...
might make a move here. Hunt.
Oh, he is. Yeah, he is up the inside into Redgate, looking from the helicopter. Is he going to get it done? He is.
Oh, yeah.
Or is he?
Well, he's going to at least get alongside Stelly and Chepelevsky. When they get to the bottom of the crane curves, I don't know, they're going to have to flick left hard now, which gives the advantage back to Chepelevsky, but now he's on the outside for the old hairpin, but he's brave on the brakes, a bit too brave, and here comes a V-Racer car as well of Ross McFarlane, sorry.
Doing a good job. He got past that place there. Stelly Chepelevsky is still on the back foot. Chris Wood has been able to get through.
Yeah, Chepelevsky went very wide. He got some dirt on his tyres as well for good measure. Won't be helping the grip of that Kia Optima as it sails around this Donington Park circuit. Now the slipstreaming that you mentioned, Adam, is going to come into play. I think Scott Malcolm has crashed out there. So I wonder what's happened to the Automatic Knock Hill car. He's dropped way down the order.
Yeah, he's crashed many times. At least that's what it says in the event viewer. Let's have a look and see what happens.
There's several crashes for Malcolm. He's been off at... looks like he's been off at the chicane.
Yeah, something's
initially.
Up there. Well, since we're taking a look at the replays, just gonna have a quick check at the start just to see if Wojciech Savidovic did indeed jump it. Everything's fine here.
Can we look back and see if we can get?
So he engages gear.
And see in relation to everybody else.
Yeah, he's moving.
He's creeping. He's creeping.
Yeah. And then goes.
Oh, he just had it on the clutch, didn't he? And that's a big error, that, really. And down in 30th place now. Well, he might be looking for the reverse grid to bail him out. McFarlane and Hunt then. No quarter given here, it looks like. And Chepelevsky's going to try and get back into this battle. He's repassed Chris Wood, so that's very good for him. And this battle rages on.
Yeah, he's going to have the advantage here. It looks like if McFarlane can brake late enough, which he does. Oh,
wow, boom.
Take that. Onto the front straight we go then, and here comes Chris Wood. He might even get past the V-Racer car too. It's going to be a freight train on the outside, and who's that? That's Christian Rose joining in too, going into the first corner, but it looks like McFarlane is just about going to rescue that in 8th.
It was very, very good from Daniel Hunt to keep that outside line going and stay alongside into the chicane. Very difficult to do there at the National Chicane. Very tight corner. Now Sutton coming under... Well, he's trying to attack Simmons once again, isn't he? They're side by side again.
Ooh, that is
Simmons
close.
on the outside. Sutton holds the inside. What's he going to do here then into... Coppice, is it? Sorry, I forget.
It's McLean's in... is it Coppice? Yeah.
My mind's gone blank, completely blank. Here we go then. Oh, they're going side by side into the break here. Sutton again absolutely clouts the curb. If he gets a decent run, might be able to keep hold of this lead then. Into Redgate. Simpson having a look on his teammate. What's going to happen here then? Team Principal flying up the inside. He's going for it. And looks like he's ahead, so good move there. I don't know if there was any orchestration, Adam, but it was a clean move nonetheless.
They're all in the BSR Discord server, because I know that because I came across it earlier. So they will have been in communication as here is multiple scraps going on. Take your pick.
So what's going on?
Yeah, it's Steve Baxter and Dave Baker going on here. This is where Dave Baker took his only win en route to the title in Season 7.
Yeah, Baxter and Baker going door handle to door handle. And then behind them you can see the scrap in the background between McFarlane and Hunt once more. It's not just these two though. Sedgwick getting into the back of Hunt slightly, I think. Going into Coppice again.
Off!
Oh, Baxter is in the wall.
And Dave Baker's in the wall too.
And Baker's off as well. So who knows what's happened there. Baker does make it across the track. He finds a suitable gap. did have a 5-second gap to work with there, Baker to turn it around. Here we go then, down the straight. They're just going to get stuck together. Yep. Oh. Dear me. Yeah. It's a strange place to crash here, isn't it? They look like they both drifted into each other and ended up just in a heap.
There's more of a movement to the left by Baker than I'd say to the right for McFarlane, but once you get stuck, we know all too well that once you get stuck together, you end up going off together.
But again, it's just minor movements. You know, minor movements by both. It looked like, but yeah, just tough one, really tough one. The stewards are going to have to dissect that one, no doubt, during the week. Sutton is still leading. He hasn't yet had a challenge from Simpson. One expects that to happen on this lap because he's now got ahead of Simmons. I wonder if they've just said, well, I'm going to have a go at this. And I'm going to try and take this lead.
They haven't lost any time anyway. That's the one thing that's pretty clear.
Here we go again.
They're at it again. Dan Hunt versus Jack Sedgwick this time. Sedgwick trying to get those places back, which he lost coming down the Crater curves here.
Oh, super close is that. I mean, we've raced this car on this track many times each, and we know that is a really tough place to go side by side.
It really is, especially if you're racing on a single monitor perhaps and you haven't got the field of view to see if the car's alongside or not. You just have to trust in your spotter, as these two are doing right now.
Yeah, no thank you. I'll just give up on that, I think. Here we go. I've got 3 monitors now and I daren't try it, I think. Here's Cedric again though. He's still looking at that inside line. Flings it up inside. Can he keep that momentum going? Hunt, of course, is going to have that momentum. Baxter still carrying on. And with severe aero damage in 16th place, he will make the finish of the race, I'm sure, unless he gets a meatball. Sedgwick dives up the inside again into the chicane. Is he going to make the apex hard this time? And he squeezes Hunt onto the inside. Hunt goes off into the gravel and skims the wall, but he's going to survive it. Only going to lose a couple of places, but that was forceful from Sedgwick, I think, in a good way, because he knew that he had to make that apex his own that time.
Well, he didn't make the poor. Oh, who was it? I can't remember. Poor Dan Hunt. He didn't even make the corner in the end. He had to go across the inside curb, clattered over the sausage curb on the inside, and then managed to just about skim the wall. If he hit that in real life, he probably would have got buried in it. But he was able to carry on nonetheless. Has dropped down to only 9th place as a result. We are getting quite a big field spread here.
I think I'd put that down to just good hard racing. It seemed like Hunt managed to get that move done a couple of laps previously. Cedric wasn't going to have it this time. I think it was it was good, but who knows what that's going to get judged at. Stelin Chepelevsky somehow is up in 4th place. He was down in about 10th place earlier on.
Okay, 9 places on his way through. Jamie Rushworth, by the way, is up to 10th, 21 places gained, biggest mover in the field by far. There's a change in the battle for the lead as Simmons goes up to 2nd. Let's quickly see what takes place though between Chepelevsky and McFarlane in the fight for best of the rest.
Ross going for the big wide line into Redgate. Had to just curtail his momentum slightly in the middle of the corner to avoid running and getting the understeer and going off onto the grass on the outside. But that allows Chepelevsky to pretty much clear him into the old hairpin. Yeah, he has done indeed. So Stelin Chepelevsky moves back up into 4th place. I tell you what, if Chepelevsky can finish in the top 5, it would be a good result for him, considering that he doesn't seem to have the pace round here compared to his teammates. Chris Wood having a great run as well, up 7 places from where he started. Jamie Rushworth started near the back. He's up to 10th already.
Here he is. He's just got past Paul Smith as well. So Rushworth cracking the top 10. Paul Smith 5 positions gained, still in 11th. So doing a good job there. And Chepelevsky and McFarlane doing a good job at fighting over 4th in the Premier League. Nobody wants that 4th spot, but Chepelevsky's trying to make it his own as they go over the curbs.
Just like 2nd place in the Championship, nobody seems to want that either.
Oh.
But it's less said about that the better, I reckon. Again, McFarlane's trying it, but Chepelevsky, the one thing about we say this pretty much every week, but he is a pro on the rallycross side. He's a World Championship driver, and if there's one thing that rallycross will teach you, Adam, it's how to place your car in defensive positions.
Yeah, definitely. Cover that inside line and make sure that nobody gets by that way. They can't get up the inside of you if you block it. And he's doing a good job of that at the moment. But look who he's bringing into play now. Jack Sedgwick, who qualified a bit higher on the grid than Chepelevsky originally. He wants to get some of those positions back as McFarlane goes a bit wide.
Oh, no. Yeah, but that might open the door for Sedgwick here. McFarlane tries to cover it. Sedgwick thought about diving up the inside, I'm sure. Didn't quite. Now you've got to really unwind the Kia Optima then as much as you dare so you don't go off the track on the outside. Now, is he going to defend all the way to the white line? He does! Oh! No overlap. So, well done by both drivers there to avoid contact. But yeah, that was better defending from McFarlane. I always think you should probably cover the white line a little bit earlier than he did, but yeah, I think you've got to you're just about okay. Wood trying around the outside of Sedgwick, and he's got a really good race car in the team, man.
He is, yeah, doing a good job in the Pro-Am fight as well. He is the highest Pro-Am driver at the moment. You can just about see the top three going out a shot at the back of the old hairpin there, which is the corner they're going into now. And Chris Wood ever improving and getting Team Mad into the top 10 here in the early stages of the evening. Of course, 2 more races to go after this with reverse grids to contend with as well. And all these guys doing a respectable job, of course. All these guys are there on their pace. This is the pace that they set in qualifying and are now carrying on within the race.
Yeah, Smith will be pleased with that 10th place as well. Strong showing from Team Mad so far. Then Simmons, Simpson and Sutton are still battling and still within 3/10 of each other. This might be the final lap. It's going to be close.
Ooh, I think it might just be. I think it might just be the final lap. It's 1 minute and 9 seconds to complete a lap. I think we crossed the line at about 18:59.
With a minute?
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
Of course, it'll be up to iRacing to determine whether we get another one or not. What's that blue cone, by the way, on the exit of the pit lane? That's new.
Blue cone? I didn't see it, to be honest.
Let's have
a look at that.
Around. But goes battles
very close battles going on as... Whoa, hello. Oh! All sorts of lockups going on behind as well. I believe that was Kip Stevens locking up into turn 1. It's only 2/10 at the front, Adam, between Sutton and Simmons. I've noticed that's come down. And I wonder if Simmons now then is going to take his final opportunity at winning this race. Sutton got a good drive off of Coppice, didn't he? Let's see if he can do it. Into the national chicane then for the final time. Ash Sutton. Simmons very little on the brakes. Whoa, I wonder if he thought about challenging, but Sutton gets out of the chicane on time. He gets through. He takes the win here at Donington Park. Round 7 of the season in the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship goes to Ashley Sutton.
Good job from him. Good defensive drive from him. Slow down penalty for Chepelevsky on the run to the line. Oh, dear me. Hopefully he served it in time, otherwise he's going to be dumped to the back. What is going on here?
Oh, the hard work. Oh, bloody hell. Oh, who's that round the outside? 113. Oh, and there's contact.
He's morphed
and there's all sorts going on. Oh, they're all piling in. And who's going to get to the line first out of this lot?
Glatzel's car's
Could be Glatzel. Could be Baker. I don't know what's happening. Look at this. Oh. Unbelievable. Somebody can't drive straight at all. I think that is Sven Glatzel with severe damage. And, well, they were separated by not a lot at all. Between, I think between Michael Blake and... Was it Blake or was it Baker who got across? It was Baker, wasn't it? Between Baker in 15th and Stevens, I think there was only like 5/10 in it or less in 21st place. This is what happened then. Sedgwick trying to make this move around the outside. He tags the Evolution Racing of Chepelevsky, who goes over the curb. That's why he has to serve the slowdown penalty, because he had a bit of the gravel on the inside as well. That meant, and Sedgwick was then slowing down so as to not impede Chepelevsky, and then behind them, Adam, all hell broke loose.
Yeah, here it is. Oh, that's not it. I think it is anyway.
No, it is.
Yeah, it is. So let's carry on. Oh, So Baker gets hit by one of the Evolution cars. Guessing that's Stevens.
Yeah, it is.
We'll carry on. Someone's about to disappear. And for his next trick, Stevens...
Oh! So Stevens got tagged into the braking area.
Then disappeared.
And then he disappeared, and then he flew across and into the car. And look at this here. Somebody's trying to come through. I'm not even sure who that is up the middle. Up the middle there at all. In car 22, who was that?
Oh, 22.
McRitchie. James McRitchie there. He got a few places out of that, I think. What a finish that was for those guys, though. They would have been loving that, I'm sure.
What a finish that was. Well,
it's never dull at Donington.
No, it isn't. A homecoming of sorts in the opening race, and we've got a lot more to look forward to, of course, with race 2 and 3 to come with a reverse grid as well. So let's get those race results up and without further ado, get through it and then get onto the reverse grid. So, Ash Sutton wins 6 tenths of a second ahead of George Simmons in the end, with Alex Simpson running his teammate home just a tenth behind. Ross McFarlane gets the best of the rest, spot in 4th, with Chris Wood finishing 5th in the end. Top Am as well. And then Christian Rose in 6th, Stelian Shapalevsky and Jack Sedgwick, 2 Evolution teammates, 7th and 8th. Dan Hunt 9th and Paul Smith getting 10th in the end, managing to get by Jamie Rushworth in the closing stages. Adam Hedgecock finishing in 12th, with John Roberts 13th and Michael Blake in 14th. Hi Michael, by the way, I forgot to do the shout out at the beginning of the show. In the World GT Championship on Monday, if he won it, some cakes would be sent around, and Michael said if we gave a shout out on the show, then we could get some potentially. So that's that. David Baker finishing in 13th, no pun intended. James McRitchie in 16th, and Sven Glatzel 17th, with his teammate Dan Brown down there in 18th. Then Mark Woodhouse 19th and Kip Stevens in 20th for Revolution. Wojciech Savidovic finishing in 21st place after that jump start. Maciek Sakovic in P22, then Rob Graham, Sean Gardner there, Lorne Murray, Adam McNally, Luke Cooper in 27th. These could be positions that are all crucial in the reverse grid. Then Stuart Atkinson, Robert Lundgren, and then the cars 1 lap down or more. These drivers are all classified. If you finish 1 lap down, you still get your points. If you finish more than a lap down, you get nothing. Max Wright, Will Daniels, Pete Harrod, Steve Baxter, 3 laps down in the end. Then Scott Malcolm, Tyler Lugo, Tyler Vickery, and Stuart McFadden, who I don't think took the start.
No, I don't think he did. Great first race. That was really, really good. We're going to get a reverse grid wheel in just a moment, and that's going to show us who's going to go onto pole position. Absolutely tremendous. Tremendous battling in the midfield. Hopefully we see some of that again. Who's going to get put on pole position? Who's going to get the best chance of taking a race 2 victory? Adam, it's over to you.
Okay, we do have the wheel ready. And let's get it up and spin it. Here it is. Of course, if we do get 4-4 or 4-1, we could be looking at a pretty sizable reverse grid. And let's spin it now. Oh, it very nearly flips over to 24, which would have been, let's show you what you would have won. If it was number 24, it would have been Sean Gardner on the pole, but no, it's 4-2, the reverse grid.
So 4-2 then. Oh, who's that going to be then?
Let's get the results up.
That will be... Oh.
Here it is. 4-4 then, so -1 will be Daniels, -2 Wright, -3 Lundgren, -4 Stuart Atkinson.
You said 4-2 though?
Oh yeah, got 4-4 on the mind for some reason. Yeah, it's -2.
So it should be Max Wright.
There we go. It
should be Max Wright that goes on to pole. We'll see if it is true indeed when we come back then here on Apex Racing TV for round 2 of the evening in the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. We'll see you then.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail. Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail. Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail. Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail. Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail. Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year.
And we're back here at Donington Park of the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. Andrew Woodhouse and Adam Bath with you for round 2 of the evening, round 8 of the championship. And on pole for this one is Max Wright for Automake Knockhill, with Robert Lundgren alongside him. Then Stuart Atkinson in 3rd, Luke Cooper in 4th, Adam McNally in 5th. And Adam Bath, before we start, well, what are your thoughts on this race?
Just looking at him there in 10th place, my money could be on Wojciech for this one. Obviously, he's got a bit of redeeming to do after the jump start in the opening race. We'll see if he can get it done here in race 2.
Let's hope he doesn't do that again.
No. And here we go.
So if it's not 2 in a row for him. Ash Sutton, of course, will be looking to make it 2 races in a row. Lights are on. Lights are out. Underway here at Donington. Terrific start by Lundgren. Got away really well, but Wright just about picks up the second phase in time to lead into the first corner. 3 wide in places in this field.
Svidovic is already up 5 places out of red gate.
Oh, the car's getting stuck together. There's a big one. Off goes the Knockhill. Oh!
Somehow.
It's Murray. Oh, what's going on? Something's off at the old hairpin as well.
I hear smoke. I hear tyres anyway.
Thanks, Murray. Anyway, into it's just brilliant. Cooper's dropping down the order. What's happened to him? He's off the course. That is the answer.
Paul Smith in trouble.
Cooper, car 22.
Problem for Paul Smith as well. He's down to 31st place. It looks like
Meanwhile, Max Wright still leads away. Sorry, Adam.
Yeah, it looks like it's just mainly cars trying to get out of the way while they serve slowdown penalties. That's what most of it looked like. But yeah, there were a lot of screeching and a lot of other stuff kicking off as here is Paul Smith again. He's got George Simmons for company. Oh, and a hit.
Oh, he's hit.
He hit the V-Racing car. Brown, I think.
William Daniels.
Will Daniels, yeah. And that was McFarlane going skating off at the final corner. End of the opening lap, then it's Max Wright, then Stuart Atkinson, and then it's Svidovic, who is the minimal meat in a very hefty sandwich that we're looking at here.
Well, yeah, in Yorkshire they do like an ham sandwich.
Ah.
And yes.
What's the regional term for a ham sandwich in Leeds? Is it
ham sandwich?
Is it a barm or is it a cob or is it a?
No, it's not a barm. That's Lancashire. You should know that. He's up 7 places from where he started. There's a few barm pots out there on the racetrack. It has to be said. As we go through the through Coppice and onto the National Straight, then, and here comes Stuart Atkinson. He's looking for the lead here.
Svidovic got a great view of this. He's gone board of him. He might get 2nd place here on the exit. Oh!
Oh, he's turned. Atkinson's turned. And Svidovic is off. And into the lead goes McNally. Out of nowhere.
God, he's obviously
I'm
been,
absolutely nowhere. Adam McNally goes through into the lead.
obviously been watching my drunk YouTube stream from a couple of years ago. That's how I did it, going on the exit of the national chicane.
Ha ha ha! Unlucky. And by the way, we were speaking of sandwiches. Sandwiches. Magic Sakovic, the Magic Sandwich, is up into second place.
Yeah, he had the fastest lap briefly, as well as Kip Stevens is now going into combat with Sean Gardner here, going into the old hairpin, and through goes Stevens up to 8th place now, 3 positions gain.
Yeah, new livery, of course, you'll notice this week on the Evolution Racing cars. Magic Sakovic with the Team Mad car, one of the best looking cars on the field, I think. With that striking red paint scheme. And he's getting a face full of the... Well, we're getting a face full of this Wojciech Svidovic car. He's got the slipstream as the 3-time champion, but decides to move away from that. Maybe to size up a move into the national chicane, but he doesn't indeed do that. And McNally still leads. Sakovic gets a great run. He set the fastest lap on the second lap. Oh, and the 3 wide into the... well, they were 3 wide into the chicane, including John Roberts, I believe.
Oh.
And going for the lead. Maciej Sakovic makes a move on the braking. Tries to dive up the inside, but he can't do it. Sutton sets the fastest lap, 1:10.881. He started 30th. Oh, and off.
It's Sakovic, and he's back on again, down to 3rd place.
And that might allow Woodhouse to close in his teammates. Fast and furious action here. Car 89 is Robert Lundgren. He started on the front row of the grid. Down into 6th place, but still fighting well. The boosted car, big improvements from Lundgren over the years, of course, here. Dave Baker for company now, though it's going to be tough to keep him behind. And the veteran Kip Stevens.
Well, we were at this track almost this time a year ago with Dave Baker, with the British Touring Car Championship, and he's right in the thick of it now in 7th, up 9 places before he started. He's got Kip Stevens, who knows this track well just because he's experienced in the BSRTC right behind him. Lead.
Sorry to cut you off. Yeah. I think Svidovic is going for the lead.
2 wide down the front straight. Svidovic is on the outside. McNally on the inside. Fastest lap of the race by a Woodhouse. Cut back.
Hey.
And a bit of damage to the front left of Wojciech's car as well. I don't know where that's happened, but it's not going to hold him back.
I think he might have nicked a bit of that accident with Atkinson and at that last chicane. I think he might have just clipped them as he went past. But he takes the lead, and can he now start to pull away Wojciech Svidovic? That's the question. Adam McNally is going to try his best to make sure that that doesn't happen. Ash Sutton sets the fastest lap once again, 1:10.48. Word on Alex Simpson. He's up to, 18th place from a starting position of 28. Stelian Chepelewski's up to 24th. Michael Blake's up to 12th. Sven Glatzel, who didn't have the best time in race 1. Oh, and Simpson is off.
Slowing down.
Big damage to the front of his car as well.
Is he near an incident limit, or is he just serving a slowdown penalty? Alex always used to tell me this if he was near an incident point, it will be all about consolidation. Here is
I do have to issue a small apology to Dan Hunt. He's in the Excite Energy, I believe, now.
Yeah, changed that over during the break. After looking at the entry list, pick a battle. It's going on everywhere. Ash Sutton, by the way, up to 17th place. Here is a nice battle. This is Atkinson. This is Max Wright. This is Michael Blake.
Sean Gardner in there as well.
Shout out to Newman's Nibbles. That's the name of the cake company that Michael Blake's well known for.
There you go. Should be called Michael Bake.
Oh.
And so what happens there? Up the inside goes Michael Blake, ex-team principal of mine. I need to be careful what I say. As he's going through the old hairpin, and he's having a look at Max Wright. And Max Wright started, of course, at the front of the field on pole position. It's not gone super well for him so far. I think he might have had to come to grief a little bit on the first lap. No, he was involved with Atkinson, wasn't he? I think. Sakovic. Oh, off goes Rob Graham at the chicane. Yeah, and that's going to allow Sakovic through into 4th.
Yeah, it's not been the best of laps for Magic, really. He was in second. McNally's gone through, Woodhouse through, and very nearly Graham there. But Baker's taken advantage and is up into fifth as all this continues to
13-0 for Sakovic. Sorry, Adam, but yeah, he lost 2.5 seconds on what Wojciech Svidovic did on that lap.
Saying Chepelevsky's a man on a mission, up 12 places. He's just got past Michael Blake. Ash Sutton isn't too far away either. He's just getting past Sven Glatzel going into the old hairpin. It's amazing how these cars make that corner. Sliding away through.
Some of them didn't, as you can see.
Oh! Lundgren. Oh! Stevens through.
And that's Stevens barging his way through.
Me and him came to blows there at one point a couple of seasons ago. Just about managed to survive. That was in the...
Called him a few harsh things there, but never mind.
That was when I was in the All Villa livery car back in 2014.
Is that the one that had Roy Keane's head on it?
Oh yeah, he's been in the headlines the last few days. Well, yesterday anyway. Look at this.
Yeah. Oh dear. What a fool he is. As into the chicane goes. Still in Jim. No!
They're all off.
And well, there's all sorts going on there, and I think that was... well, Max Wright's in the thick of the action, let's be honest. And Sutton... Wright's trying to go back past Ash Sutton is Blake. And Sven Glatzel's on the inside. He's a bit boxed in, is Glatzel. It's like at the Daytona 500 when you just can't get out in order to make any moves.
Yeah, he's getting pinned on the inside there, but look at the speed he carries around the train of curves.
Contact between Roberts and Blake. Blake's wiggling everywhere. Can he drift it through the old hairpin and save the car? He can.
Will be a slowdown though.
We'll probably have a slowdown penalty, I'd imagine, yeah.
A cost potentially. Yeah, but he's trying to get out of the way. But everybody's just
Roberts got severely
through.
held up by that as well. Look at there's 10 cars just parked behind John Roberts.
Need like a massive, a massive shot of it all. But even from the blimp, you can't get them all in the shot. Meanwhile,
well, the start of that train is Kip Stevens in 7th place, and then it goes all the way down to I think 29th place. It's ridiculous. As this is the battle for P2. Adam McNally defending from Mark Woodhouse. Bang!
Shades of Jerez 97 there, dear me.
That's one way to...
you hit the wrong part of it, my friend.
That's one way to do it. And out. And, yeah. That's it.
Certainly Chepelevsky here has just been passed by Ash Sutton. One guy that's driving his way up through the field has just been passed by another. Sutton taking no prisoners as he gets up to P10 now. 20 places gained. Yeah,
Cheppy, yeah. If there's one way to make Chepelevsky feel bad, he's getting 13 positions. Ash Sutton's getting 20 places out there today. Dave Baker's getting 12 as well, and he's up to 4th.
Sven Glatzel versus Alex Simpson here over 15th and 16th, and it looks like Alex has got the better of him there.
Yeah, Glatzel, I think, deciding that he just wants to sit and wait and see what happens, I think.
Meanwhile,
Woodhouse versus McNally round 2.
Yeah. Good run.
Got a good run there, mate. And you can see by the camera mounted on the front of the Team Mad car just what a good run he has. And he's now going to have an overlap. And is he going to dive up the inside here, Mike Woodhouse? Is he going to fire it towards the apex? He does. McNally still thought about turning in, didn't quite. The side-by-side going through Hollywood.
He's going to appear there on the right-hand side. God, vomit-inducing. And through goes McNally. No. Back up the inside goes Woodhouse, and he's got the move done. So Mark Woodhouse, he started the move on
McNally's got a run. He's nudging him.
Well, he's going to get turned into the wall there.
Senna told me to do that move right there.
Oh.
That's what he's thinking anyway. Trying to get this gap. Oh, hello. I think McNally's going to have a dive into Coppice.
Oh, this is why we love Donington here. This is great between these two. Wonder how far away Dave Bakers is from all of this. He's about 1.7 seconds away. That gap could come down pretty quickly if they stay like this, especially through this corner. There is Baker.
Yeah, let's see if they... Oh, it hits the curb hard, does McNally. That really kiboshed his momentum.
And through goes Woodhouse eventually. It took him a lap to get it done. Look at this. This is Jamie Rushworth versus Alex Simpson. I know we keep looking at Alex, but he's right where the action is. It's like a magnet.
Well, Simpson's through. Max Wright is still fighting hard with well, he's fighting hard now to defend from this lot. Sedgwick's in there as well. Rushworth's in there. It's a big pro-am mix here. And, yeah, I wonder if that's a safer option cutting away from that as Robert Lundgren versus Stelian Chepelevsky. Lundgren still in the top 10, having a good run out there. Chepelevsky trying to force his way through into 9th. Oh, hello.
Sean Gardner fancies his chances too.
Wonder if Gardner's going to have a go into McLean's. Coming out of McLean's. Oh, no.
Oh,
off and getting turned is Glatzel. And that's a disqualification for the German.
Now, I wondered why he allowed Alex by pretty easily, and it's because he must have been on the limit with those incident points and turn around. Goodbye, out of the session.
And when you're on the limit in the BSRTC, it can spell disaster. Ross McFarlane set the fastest lap on the previous time round, won 10.4 for the Scotsman, so he's charging in 20th place, just behind George Simmons actually, who was high up in race 1. Oh, somebody's on the grass trying to make a move.
It's McRitchie.
Who is it? Oh, James McRitchie going balls to the wall here. Blake turns in, and that was always going to happen. I think they were racing very hard there, both of them. Didn't give each other much room. And yeah, off goes Blake. McRitchie carries on. And he's now got Christian Rose for company.
Yeah, CQR car up 2 places. Dan Brown is in there too. V-Racer car. Look at the time he gained there. I wonder if that might even be worthy of a slowdown penalty. He was so quick through there, was Dan Brown. But not able to make the most of it.
Terrific camera angles here as well. Here on Apex Racing TV, really getting to the heart of the action. McRitchie misses McLean's completely. And that's allowed Rose a shot into Coppers. He's going to dive up the inside here. See if he can.
Itching to cut away.
Make this stick. He's in the right position though, Adam. He's got the inside for the national chicane. If he can make it stick here. Yeah, and he has. He's through.
Oh, Jack Sedgwick's off.
Crash! It's Jack Sedgwick into the wall, into the pit wall no less. Can he steer the car? He looks like he can. Well, he was already well out of shape. Gets tagged by Jamie Rushworth. Oh, he went too deep on the brakes, it looked like. I'm not sure if he got a tap to initiate the slide in the first place, but yeah, let's have a look. The only thing I can think of is he might have got a tap into the braking area itself. Oh, and it looks like he might have done.
Is that Rob Graham? Oof.
Yes.
No, 25 actually. Max Wright.
Well, it's an automatic, not kill, sorry. And yeah. Oh.
Off.
He'll do well to have no damage, Baker.
Now that's it. That is at Coppice. So what on earth happened to the Season 7 champion to cause this development?
I would imagine another quarter panel.
Oh, here we go. It's the Sakovic
Almost
versus
certainly a quarter panel.
McNally battle. Goes up the inside and then...
There it is.
Yeah. There's only one way you're having a moment there, and it's because of that.
Yep, that's it.
Down to 12.
It's not your usual crashing spot. Sutton sets another fastest lap, 1:10.3. Ash Sutton flying out there, 0.2 of a second quicker than anybody else. Svidovic leads then. Woodhouse in second with just about 4 minutes to go. Magic Sakovic in third. Adam McNally fourth. Rob Graham fifth. Then Ash Sutton in sixth. Seventh is Kip Stevens. Eighth, Sterling Chepelevsky. Ninth, Robert Lundgren. And 10th, Alex Simpson. And Sutton now monstering Rob Graham here. Scotland versus England. Sutton nearly having to take to the grass this time, Adam, to try and get through. He's going around the outside at McLean's. Graham's going to have the inside line for Coppice, but can Sutton clear him before he gets to the braking zone?
He does.
The answer is yes. He really throws that in.
Meanwhile...
Oh! Jeez.
That's the only way to describe it.
That's Daniel Hunt at the beginning of this train anyway, and then it's Wright and McFarlane are battling side by side. John Roberts is in there. Stephen Baxter, who first half of his 2018 season was absolutely spectacular. Looked like a title contender for a long time.
The curbs.
He's right in the middle of this action as well.
Great run by Max Wright on the exit. Oh, no.
Oh, my word!
Now
he's going on the grass this time.
I don't know whether either he had the slowdown or it was McNally that not McNally. It was Dan Hunt had the slowdown penalty.
Hunt.
And I don't know whether
Will Daniels might have crashed, I think, somewhere.
Oh yeah. It was up the order earlier on. Will Daniels. Might be worth having a quick inspection. Here it is.
So he's at the back of this little train with car 36 that he's just come to blows with.
Lorne Murray.
Is Lorne Murray.
Max Wright's definitely down the order now, and he's off on the exit of the old hairpin. So it's all gone south for Wright. Let's have a look. He's got number 999 behind him. Dan Hunt. Oh, and Dan Hunt just...
That's a huge accident, it really is.
Goes for a ride there. Remember Andy Neat having one round that part of the circuit a couple of years ago. Here comes McNally.
Oh, very late on the brakes. McNally throws it in on Woodhouse, who just about manages to give enough room at the last second. All this is doing, Adam, though, is helping Ash Sutton, because he'll still see the podium is in sight. And there he is, you can see him there.
Yeah, something's happened here, because Sakovic...
He might be on them by the end of this straight. Sorry.
Yeah, Sakovic is up to second now. So Woodhouse was originally running up there, but now his podium position is hanging on by a thread.
Does McNally have damage, Adam? Does he have damage to one of the rear wheels or something? Because the car looks like it's behaving a bit strangely.
So he's turning in the right direction as we go onto the back straight.
Very slow couple of corners for him, though.
It's okay. If you run wide going through that McLean's corner, then you're going to be in trouble. What is going on here? Positions just...
Somebody's in the gravel there.
Tumbling down. It's Stuart Atkinson, I
think Christian Rose might... Oh, no. Yeah, somebody was in the gravel on the exit of Coppice.
Meanwhile, Sean Gardner... George Simmons has just got by Sean Gardner, and further up the field, Rob Graham is about to be passed by Stelian Chepelevsky here as we're on the final lap, I think.
Yeah, Rob Chepelevsky's going through on Graham.
Jeez.
Oh! Hell,
now the drivers in the car, they don't know it's that close, but we do, and it's horrific.
Terrifying down there. Sutton's closing on Woodhouse for
the final spot on the podium, isn't he?
Third place, sorry, yeah. What can Mark Woodhouse do to stave off Ash Sutton? It's going to be very difficult indeed.
Already a win today. Could be on the podium again.
Let's see if he can do it into the national chicane then.
Check a flag.
Getting a slipstream off his teammate. And Wojciech Svidovic then is coming to the line, Adam.
Here he is. It was Ash Sutton in race 1. It's going to be Wojciech in race 2. Who's going to get the podium though?
And they've blocked Sutton off.
The pincer movement.
That's very ingenious by Team Mad. They've blocked off Sutton. He gets disqualified after the checkered flag. Lucky for Sutton there. Yeah, brilliant stuff. And McRitchie versus Wood. This is for 20th. And look at Brown. Who's going to take it? I think it's going to be Wood. And then it's just McRitchie ahead of Brown. Really, really good finish to that race. Tell you what, that final corner, it really does throw up a lot of great action, that chicane, doesn't it?
It really does. Since they modified it in 2010, it really has become a great way of setting up the car in front. And if you do make a mistake through there, you really do pay the price, especially if the car's not too far behind you. But victory for Wojciech again. Mark Woodhouse, the top am. Team Mad getting the job done here tonight, because Chris Wood, he also drives for Team Mad. He got the race 1 win for the Team Mad team in the Pro-Am category anyway, and now Mark Woodhouse gets the victory here in race 2.
Indeed. And of course originally, when they were going to modify this circuit for to host the 2010 British Grand Prix, they were going to actually get rid of that chicane, I believe.
Which is why they had to
rebuild it. The main straight was going to be on the back straight,
Dunlop sign's gone, I think, as well. Dunlop Bridge, sorry. Donington announced...
Yeah, they were going to change quite a few things for that.
Yeah, I think Donington have announced the other week that they're planning on making some massive changes to the circuit, but I can't remember what it is. Did see a lot of people in the comments asking for the Dunlop Bridge to be brought back. Wait and see on that one. Right, race results. From race 2. Might be something for me to look at during the break. Race victory then for Wojciech Savinovic. Second for Mark Woodhouse, Maciek Sakovic in third. Fourth for Adam McNally, fifth for Kip Stevens in the end, the top 5 for Kip. And Stelin Chapelevsky fighting his way up to 6th place in the end. One thing I have noticed that Ash Sutton isn't there, and that's because of his DQ, but I'm sure he crossed the line. Either it turns from a 0x into a 2x or something, and it may have thrown him out before then. Not too sure, but the official position for Ash Sutton is 31st. We'll have to wait and see what they do.
He did cross the line. I mean, he did cross the line.
It's just whether he
before he got disqualified, so it's tough.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's
unless he was because he was in contact with the car before he crossed the line,
and then the Team Mad car started sliding after the line. The 0x became a 2x.
So it read it
as
so it maybe read it as the same incident.
Yeah, I'll have to wait and see on that one.
Yeah.
We'll read it out as it's displayed anyway. Graham 7th, Simpson 8th, Baker 9th, and Sean Gardner in 10th. George Simmons, an underrated drive there up to P11. Gain of 18 spots. Not too many. Only 2 drivers have actually gained more than him during that race. 12th for Robert Lundgren, 13th for John Roberts, then Steve Baxter, Jamie Rushworth, former champion, finishing in 15th, and Ross McFarlane 16th. Then Stuart Atkinson with Paul Smith after an early slowdown, finishing P18. Chris Wood in P19 and James McRitchie rounding at the top 20. Then it's Dan Brown, Michael Blake, Adam Hedgecock, Luke Cooper there in P24. Lord Murray, despite an off-track down at the final chicane, finishes in P25. Scott Malcolm finishes in 26th. Will Daniels finishing a lap down. Quite a lot of cars a lap down, in fact. Christian Rose, Jack McIntyre. I think these stats are wrong. I don't think these many cars finished 1 lap down. I could be wrong. I might get the official iRacing sim results up for the reverse grid anyway. Ash Sutton 2 laps down because of that potential disqualification. Jack Sedgwick, Dan Hunt, Sven Glatzel, Pete Harrod completing the field.
All right.
I am going to get the sim.
So,
yeah.
Remains to be seen on who's going to get this pole position. It's going to be really, really interesting, I'll tell you.
Let's get it up, actually. Second reverse grid of the day. Final reverse grid of the evening. That is not the reverse grid. That is, for some reason, the sim. Maybe this will do the trick. There it is. Let's spin it. It's a small one. It's 21.
So 21 is Daniel Brown, who's going to get that one. So the V-Racer car is going to be on pole for round 3 of the evening, and you can see that only here and live on Apex Racing TV. After this break, we'll see you back here in about 15 minutes' time. I do like what they were proposing.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail. Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail. Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail. Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have.
You join us on the grid here at Donington for the BSRTC round 3 of the evening. Andrew Woodhouse and Adam Bath with you for Apex Racing TV. Daniel Brown on pole position. He starts there for V-Racer. James McRitchie in second place in the asymmetric car. Then it's Chris Wood in third, Paul Smith in fourth, Stuart Atkinson in fifth, then Ross McFarlane, Jamie Rushworth in seventh, Stephen Baxter eighth, ninth for John Roberts, and Robert Lundgren in 10th. They'll bring out Adam in once the race begins. Just a few seconds away from the lights going out here at Donington Park, and round 9 of the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship is go. Terrible start by Chris Wood. Really lost loads of time, loads of places. Great start by Brown. Smith up to second.
Had all off.
Paul Smith's in the lead. Our Apex colleague going through, taking the lead here at Donington. Stuart Atkinson in second. Off goes McRitchie. McRitchie's all over the place. Oh, and the driver's behind doing a great job to not get caught up in that. I feel there might be a couple of rejoins Adam coming back on.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Oh, there's one. There it is.
It's Dave Baker.
And they've somehow managed to keep it out of the wall, jumping over the service road. Oh, and then he's bossed off the track. It's a good measure.
No way through.
What a crazy start.
Meanwhile, up to 4th goes Jamie Rushworth, up to 5th goes George Simmons. Paul Smith has got a 10th of a second lead over over Stuart Atkinson in 2nd, then it's Dan Brown 3rd. It's anybody's guess who's in the positions behind. It is literally pick your line, because this is all mental.
Just a quick update. I've seen Lon Murray's been off the track a couple of times. Scott Malcolm as well, so not going well for Automatic Knockhill. William Daniels has crashed somewhere on the circuit as well. But look at this. Daniel Brown going into battle with Jamie Rushworth.
Rushworth wins that one for now. He's up to 3rd, is Jamie in the CQR car. He might be one to watch in terms of chasing down Stuart Atkinson and Paul Smith at the front. But Paul Smith, crash!
Oh, somebody's backwards in the craners. And it's Ross McFarlane. I think he's got involved with Chris Wood there. The Scotsman was going the wrong way down the hill. That is not what you want. And let's see how it happened, Adam.
Here we go. It's with the Team Ad car. It looks like Chris Wood with the green stripes on it. And oh dear.
And actually, if the only car that he hit was each other.
Could have been a whole lot worse. Meanwhile,
yes.
Here is Dan Brown.
Smith leads by 1.5 seconds. Then it's Rushworth, as you can see. Oh, and this is a slowdown. It's a slowdown for Atkinson, because Dan Brown's just driven right past him. And there goes 123 Chepelevsky. And still off, still serving the penalty is Atkinson. He's dropping way down the order.
Longest penalty in the world.
He's down out of the top 10.
Down to 16th place now. Dear me, what a horrific moment for him there. The first 2 laps, if you get a slowdown penalty, it's just an absolute killer here. Stalin Chepelevsky, though.
Now there are three marauding Evolution Racing cars looking to set up a move on Stephen Baxter. Now Baxter, who is now very much used to battling in this company. See what he can do to stay ahead. Chepelevsky, probably the slowest out of the 3 Evolution drivers at this race meeting. Baxter's been steady for V-Racer. They've had a decent meeting, but still a couple of mishaps. Rushworth's got the gap down to 0.6 of a second now on Smith. They used to be teammates, I'm sure. At CQR, I believe, Sutton sets the fastest lap. Speaking of CQR, 109.6.
There he is. Looks like he's had to start at the back after his result in race 2 anyway. He's gained 19 places though. That hasn't stopped him in the slightest, has it? Sure you would have enjoyed it.
He's really taken advantage of... Yeah, he's really taken advantage of the chaos around him at the beginning of the race. John Roberts versus Alex Simpson here.
Oh,
and Simpson going into Roberts, and off he goes. We were on board with Roberts, and we took a ride into the gravel trap.
Well,
courtesy of Alex Simpson gets involved in more contact.
It was race 3 at Mosport, wasn't it? Last 2 weeks ago, where he collided with Ash Sutton.
So he's been no stranger to that recently. Smith still leads. How long for though?
Here it is from out of the car.
Let's see if we see anything different to what we.
Oh no!
Just got too close, I think, Adam.
Yeah, off he goes.
I think he just got too close to the back of Roberts, and the thing is, when you're only millimetres away, you've got no reaction time anyway, no matter what happens. And I think Alex will look at that and think he probably should have just given a bit more room. But speaking of not getting any room, this is all kicking off near the old hairpin. Baxter and Chepelevsky and Simmons and Savinovic.
That's an Evolution Racing train here. Savinovic right in the mix. He disappeared and appeared again. This is allowing...
I'll tell you what, Stephen Baxter, he's going to be mirror driving of the highest order, isn't he, at the moment?
Yeah, he's a cork in a very fizzy bottle of Evolution Racing team. Don't know what it tastes like, but here he comes.
Probably like Foster's or something, isn't it?
Oh, a warm Foster's, there ain't nothing worse. Ash Sutton up to...
I bet there isn't actually. This is something. It'll be something Australian, Bundaberg or something. Up the inside goes Chepelevsky. And they're going either side of it.
He's getting swamped by them all here.
Getting absolutely zonted here. And is Savinovic going to make it 3? Sutton's coming as well. Look, he wants in on this action too, and he cuts the inside. Has he got a slow down penalty, Sutton, for that transgression of the track limits?
Watch out for Adam McNally as well. Sutton will maybe just have to keep the slightest eye on the rear view mirror as he hunts down this pack. Stephen Baxter's just probably happy
I think he has got enough. I think he has got to slow down, Sutton. I think he's trying to serve it very sort of slowly, isn't he? And now he can't serve it slowly anymore. He has to get off the gas, and he has to do it, otherwise he risked disqualification. Look at James McRitchie having a look on Rob Graham, and yet again McRitchie trying to pass another car off the circuit.
Dan Brown
didn't end well for him last time.
Oh yeah, he did the mother of all slides going down the old hairpin here as he closes in on Rob Graham, who's had a good race so far. 4 positions gained. He wants to keep it that way by keeping the asymmetric.
I was thinking of race.
Yeah, sorry.
I was thinking of race 2. When him and Michael Blake came to blows.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they've had a bad run there, those two. Across the chicane, and Sakovic and Sedgwick and Woodhouse having a look now.
So many battles going down the front straight. Here comes Sedgwick. Who's number 40? That's Sakovic around the outside. Oh, run out of room.
Dear me.
And here is number 24, Mark Woodhouse, entering the fray. He was the Pro-Am winner in race 2. Paul Smith has managed to somehow get a 1.2 second advantage over Jamie Rushworth all of a sudden. It was about 2 tenths a lap ago. Don't know what's happened there. Off goes Graham nearly. Oof.
McRitchie's coming back. He's got the overlap.
Free
Will
wide.
he get any space from Graham? Graham's going to have to defend from Sedgwick. Sedgwick's going to go up the inside. She's now going to be the outside for McLean's.
He's going to get somehow... How on earth has he stayed in that? I thought he was going to get mugged at the highest order there.
I'm just going to borrow a phrase. This is not going to go well.
Never mind, the pedals are moving about. All the cars are moving about here. Jack Sedgwick.
I'm moving about in my seat at this point as they go 3 wide once more down the back straight. But Richie's very late on the brakes. You can see the carbon disc glowing. As they're crying enough on that with the pressure. And speaking of pressure, it's too much for Graham now and McRitchie. They've both gone off.
Now who's that coming through the middle? That's the V-Racer of Glatzel. Is it?
Yeah, Sven.
Sven. It's Blake.
And Blake's been tagged. I think Blake got tagged by one of the CQR cars. I think it might have been Pete Harrod possibly coming through. We've not really mentioned him since the very start of the meeting. McNally's off somewhere, but he's okay. Back on the old hairpin. James McRitchie in the thick of it. What a race. What a meeting we've had. It's been absolutely brilliant so far.
Can we come here every week? Football champ,
yes.
potentially.
I'd watch a Donington championship, certainly. If we get this racing every single week, as the sky, you see some dark clouds in the distance, but for now, sunshine here in the very evening, the dusk conditions here at Donington Park. Stelly and Chepelewski giving it everything over the chicane to try and break into the top 4, which is 2 seconds down the road. Currently held by Dan Brown, but I think Brown's in trouble because Chepelewski is catching. He's really catching.
Oh,
There's 2 cars off of the grass and they're still hitting each other. Glatzel and Robert Graham, and it's still going on. And then the cars behind now coming into play. Stevens and Graham dishes some out.
that had.
Says you want some, I'll give it you.
That was written all. You just knew that was going to happen. Watch out for number 15, but Ross McFarlane. But I don't think he's going to do anything to hinder his teammate.
That's 2 drivers that don't often give much leeway. Oh, there goes Adam Hedgecock for a ride on the grass at the old hairpin. Took 2 wheels on the grass and no recovery from there. It's very dirty out the outside of the old hairpin. He's found that out the hard way as Adam Hedgecock. We've still got 10 minutes of this race to go. Adam, what is... This is good. This could be an all-time classic in the BSRTC. And there's another carambolage here. And there's cars flying through the air. And somebody's gone way up there into orbit. That's Daniel Hunt. He's resting down on his side. Adam Hedgecock is involved in that too. Dave Baker, I believe, is out. I think he was a CQR car. He was catapulting and somersaulting his way across the circuit. We need to see what happened. It's at the front of this pack, Adam. It's there with the Excite Energy. It's Daniel Hunt, I think, who's involved at the beginning.
Yeah, trying to find it first on the replay. Oh, Dan Hunt.
Oh!
Yeah, it is.
I think Dan Hunt gets quarter panel. It's not him. It's the one in front. It's that one there. It's with the Automate Knock Hill.
Here it is, number 25. Max Wright up the inside, hits him.
Oh, it's a tough one. Hunt didn't give a great deal of space, but then poor old Baker gets
this track's
absolutely launched.
This track's
Hunt
near.
Flies up into the
this track's near East Midlands Airport, so air traffic control.
Yep. Well, we do see planes coming into land in the background every now and again. Simpson's off the track.
We know what happens
in his pursuit of Rushworth.
We know what
He's in his pursuit of Smith.
Yeah. Well, we know what happens to airports when they catch sight of a drone. What will happen when they catch sight of a Kia Optima up there?
That'll avoid that 7-year warranty, won't it? No question about it. This is Simmons versus Sutton. This is a good battle that we don't often see here on Apex Racing TV. 2 great drivers going toward this Donington circuit. Oh my word! Well, Ash Sutton's touring car experience came into play there. Very, very precise margins between success and failure, shall we say. Just a couple of centimetres away from the back of George Simmons' car. Sutton's going to try around the outside of the Evolution man. And Stephen Baxter's there for V-Racer as well. Simmons defends hard. This could open the door for Baxter. Adam is on the outside. He's going to get this big wide. Oh, he's going to do the big long cut back. Sutton's right there with him now.
It's getting very close to second place too, but this is fantastic between Simmons and Sutton. Simmons one of the league admins on this. No wonder he's doing so well.
No wonder he's doing so well.
Yeah. Jinx. McFarlane not in here, but it is his teammate Baxter that's doing well. And Jack Sedgwick's gained 21 places too as they come around to complete another lap. Jamie Rushworth, Alex Simpson. It's a freeway scrap for the lead now with 7 minutes to go.
Smith, Rushworth and Simpson then. Well, these 3 are pretty crafty drivers, so we will see who's going to come out on top in this one. We've got to bear in mind as well that there is a chasing pack coming to get them. Dan Brown, Stelly and Chepelewski, Wojciech Savidovic, they are closing in slightly. The last lap, in fact, Brown in 4th was just under 0.2 of a second quicker than Paul Smith. If at that rate, they will get them before the end. They will catch them at least. But as we often say, Adam, catching is one thing and getting past, as we've seen, is quite another.
Especially in this series, anyway. But passing.
Oh yeah, I mean, making an overtaking moves is akin to accepting a boxing match, isn't it? Really.
Might have to change the phrase to passing is one thing, punting is another, or potentially something like that.
Please, yes,
yeah.
please no punterino. Yes, indeed.
Just over 5 minutes to go.
Smith. Oh, now Smith. Oh, there's a little move under the in the braking zone, isn't there? Tiny little one.
Got a good run on the exit, Jamie here. Where's Paul going to position the car? He's going to make Jamie go the long way round to the old hairpin. But
he has to stay to the inside for the old hairpin to Smith. But Rushworth is Rushworth's too smart, I think, to try anything daft through the craners and the old hairpin. Simpson could have well picked up a slowdown there. He was very close to the limit. Rushworth cuts the inside of the little corner under Starkey's bridge.
Oh, Bosch, and through goes Simpson into second.
Well, there you go. That's the touring car racing.
A lot better
A
than
bit of contact again.
Yeah, a lot better than the move he did on Roberts, that's for sure.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, that wasn't very good. So here comes Simpson again. We could have a situation on our hands where he wins 2 race 3s, despite punting someone off in the process. Now here's Paul Smith.
Vaulting
Nice and controlled. Does hit the curb, but doesn't lose much momentum. The Yorkshireman.
If anything, Alex lost momentum by clobbering that second curb.
Now, if it wasn't for the fact that Alex Simpson pays our wages, I'd be rooting for the man from Halifax here. But you know, I know why my loyalty is light. As here comes the battle for 4th place. Dan Brown, Wojciech Simonovic, and Stelian Chepelevsky.
God, we could do a split screen here.
I think there was a contact potentially at the front.
I think it might have been Jamie.
I wonder if Smith and Simpson hit each other. It might have been very. If they didn't, I definitely heard a lot of tyre screeching.
Paul moves over to the right.
Oh, he doesn't want to move back too much. He's placing his car expertly, though, Adam. He really is.
Really is. And look at the space. Look at the time he's managed to gain just out of that right-hander. Up 4 tenths, nearly half a second. Almost could allow Jamie Rushworth to get by, but the CQR car decides better of it. Going through the final corner.
I can tell you actually a fact. About Paul Smith that not many people know. He's won at Bathurst.
There you go.
In the BSRTC, yes.
The Craner curves are a bit like
this one though. I will say this one will be his finest win. I think if he manages to hold on here.
Well, the Craner curves are a bit like the S's after Brock Skyline, I guess. I think that's the first time anyone's ever likened Bathurst to the Donington Park to Bathurst. But we'll wait and see. I'd love to get an interview with him afterwards, actually. And all of a sudden, it looks like he's got a 0.6 of a second lead over Alex. I wonder if Alex is just holding back and then going for the final assault in the closing stages.
Jamie's dropped off. I wonder what's gone on there. Whether he's had a bit of an issue at Redgate maybe on that lap. I wonder if he outbraked himself possibly, but lost a good 0.6 of a second to Alex Simpson.
Meanwhile,
oh, look at this. That is Maciej Sakovic versus Pete Harrod versus Woodhouse versus Blake versus McRitchie versus McFarlane.
The Magic Sandwich has got under his spell, or following him anyways, and like the Pied Piper, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars, maybe even 6, all in a long line, following his every move.
Yeah, indeed, Sakovic, experienced driver now in the Kia Optima, 4 years or so, I think, for him in this car. Oh, and really sliding through there was Woodhouse. And now back to the front with 2 minutes to go here at Donington Park, round 9, the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship 2019 Pro Series.
Terrific run by Alex there. Paul might have to get crafty here, positioning the car well.
This is where Alex hit John Roberts. Doesn't want to get too close to the car in front. He's learned his lesson, it seems. And Smith needs to defend the inside. He really needs to defend it here.
Simpson cut back.
And he needs to keep the inside line. There's a bit of contact again. Smith needs to keep the inside for the national chicane, Adam. It's imperative for him.
See what he does.
Cannot let Simpson have the inside here.
Alex
he needs to just move over.
He's doing everything you're telling him to do.
Oh, somebody flying in there!
Rushworth.
That's Rushworth super late on the brakes.
Right,
but I think Smith, he can't chance it like that, I think, Adam. I think he's got to defend hard to the white line if he wants to stay in front.
It's music to his ears. This is the final lap of the race, so just got to hold on for a couple more miles, Paul.
Oh, and look at Wojciech Savinovic. He's looking for the podium finish.
Winner of race 1. Sorry, winner of race 2, I should say. Coming up to get a podium here in race 3.
He was the... Well, sorry, for those who don't know, he was the pole position man for race 1, then he jumped the start.
Oh, of course, yeah. Long time ago that was.
So it's actually put his weekend in put his race meeting into a little bit of a strange pattern, but for Savinovic, he's done really well since. Simpson senses this opportunity on the final lap, then the side-by-side two-pop, his corner, and off goes Smith. It's happened again. The quarter panel has been issued, and now Wojciech Savinovic has managed to slide past Jamie Rushworth. Can he hold this into the national chicane? If he can, Wojciech Savinovic is going to take the lead. He's going to take the win. Rushworth is going to do it. The drive to the line is underway. Oh, they hit each other again. They're on the grass. It's so close to call. Who's going to take it? It is going to be Jamie Rushworth, Adam, who wins a titanic battle at the end. It all turned around on the final lap.
Oh, here is Paul. Paul Smith touring in. The car's wrecked. And there's going to be some words here. Well, Alex Simpson's going to get the book thrown at him. First at Morocco, not what am I talking about, Morocco, at Mosport last week. He takes out John Roberts earlier on in this race. Marrakesh. And they all begin with M. And here comes Paul Smith well, not in style. He would have loved that if he was winning, but here he is crabbing across the line and gets 27.
It is a stylish result, I have to say.
Yeah, get the
not what he wanted. I think mad might be the word that's emblazoned on the side of his Kia Optima.
Wow.
Yeah, indeed. I just need to take 30 seconds. I'll be back.
What a result. Well, while Woody takes that break, we can run you through the top 10 of how it finished, because we'll wait till Woody gets back to dissect the crash. But here is the moment that the race was won, in effect. So off goes those two, Smith and Simpson. Almost Rushworth and Savinovic almost take each other out. And now from the helicopter, you would assume, just by looking on the inside line, that Savinovic was in control of the corner. But how late does Jamie Rushworth brake? Fraction of a second later, throws it in, and is able to just about get clear by the time they get on the exit. Wojciech, try as he might on the exit curb, not able to get it done, and almost loses a place there to the other Evolution car, driven by Stelian Chepelevsky. What a final corner that was by Rushworth. Right. In terms of the AM category, if Paul Smith had been able to hold on, it would have been a Paul Smith victory in the Pro-Am fight. That, in the end, that honour went to Dan Brown, who finished in 4th for V-Racer. There he is. And if we can filter it just by class, it's McNally, then Woodhouse, Blake there in 4th, and James McRitchie in 5th. So that is the state of play in the end with the Pro-Am drivers. I'll run you through the finishing order in a moment, but let's get it up now. I think we've put it off as long as we can. I don't know if Woody's back or not, but here it is then. So it starts off with, obviously, Alex getting a decent run. Paul Smith does what he's allowed to do. Move to the inside. Alex goes to the outside, which I thought would have then resulted in a decent battle down the back straight, but then after Smith... I think Smith did nothing wrong there, personally. Wait and see what Woody says on the whole situation. Here it is from the reverse angle. Some may say are coming together. I personally don't see anything Paul Smith did wrong there. Might be worth having a look. This time in car. Worth incidentally noting that while Paul Smith finished in P27, Alex Simpson finished in P6. Here it is from on board with him. He goes to the outside. You could then say that Paul turned into him, but once again, this is the angle I think that shows it. Don't see where else Paul Smith could have gone there. It's another dramatic final lap for Alex Simpson, this time he doesn't win. Gets a top 6 finish result in the end. But what a moment at the front of the field. Here it is again. Stallion Chepelevsky almost getting both of them on the drag race to the line. There it is, the finish line. And in the end, just a couple of hundredths of a second separating them. There is Wojciech flying across the grass and the gravel at the end. What a finish to the evening. What a race meeting in general it's been here at Donington Park in the East Midlands. And let's get the finishing results up on the screen now. Jamie Rushworth wins by 55 thousandths of a second. Stallion Chepelevsky completes the podium with Wojciech Svidovic finishing ahead of him. 2 V-Racer cars after that. Dan Brown, as we mentioned just a few moments ago, winning the Pro-Am fight with Baxter in 5th. Alex Simpson finishes in 6th place in the end, with Ash Sutton just breathing down his neck in 7th. George Simmons and Jack Sedgwick for 9th, with Alan McNally in 10th, the second highest Am driver. Then it's Pete Harrod, then it's Mark Woodhouse, Michael Blake. Those 3 were pretty much inseparable whenever we looked at them. Ross McFarlane there finishing in 14th, with James McRitchie, Maciek Sakovic finishing 15th and 16th. Kip Stevens finishing in P17 in the end, the 2-time champion. Not in the worst of race meetings. He's been been there or thereabouts for all of it. And there's Christian Rose in P18. Rob Graham in 19th place for Sven Glatzel, who got DQ'd in race 2. Salvaging a 20th place in the final one. Will Daniels there in P21, and John Roberts, who was on the receiving end of one of Alex Simpson's specials in race 3. Lorne Murray there 23rd, then Luke Cooper. Max Wright involved in that huge mess that we saw on the run up to Coppice. Then Jack McIntyre, there he is. Paul Smith P27. Then Scott Malcolm, Adam Hedgecott, Stuart Atkinson, Chris Wood, Dan Hunt, Dave Baker, Robert Lundgren and Sean Gardner rounds them out. Paul Smith has a stream of this, I'm guessing, and
oh wow, yeah, that's going to be interesting.
His reaction would have been funny. Oh, here, since you're back, we can get it up again, Woody. And this is the angle I've gone for. It's the reverse angle here, and I personally don't see anything that Paul could have done really in that situation. But
to be honest, it doesn't. From that angle, it doesn't actually look like there's anything anybody could have done. To me, they were side by side. Let's have a look again. Just have a quick look at that back again. Go on, let's see. They just got stuck together. I don't think it's anybody's fault.
Left front hitting right rear.
I thought originally, it's tough though, isn't it? Because they're both turning right. Like if that to me, if that's in a, and I don't want to sort of be the one who goes, oh, if that was a real car. But if that was a real car, nobody would have. I don't think anybody would have crashed there really. Because I think they'd have just gone door handle to door handle, and Smith would have been able to ride it out on the inside because he's going right. He's turning right, yeah. So it's really, really tough. In hindsight, you could say that Alex maybe could have given some more space, but at the same time, it's the final lap and they're battling for the win. I don't know. It's really, really tough to call. Hopefully, we can hear from both of them. We can certainly hear from Alex Simpson, but in just a minute. And in fact, and then the race to the line was absolutely crazy. Should we have a look? Can we have a look at that again?
The race to the line.
Have you been over that? Or?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. We went over it while you were away. But
we went over it. That's fine. That's fine. We don't need. Yeah, that's okay. We'll get Alex Simpson into. We'll get Alex Simpson into the commentary box. Here he is. Alex, that final lap then, really hard fought battle for the lead, and unfortunately, it didn't really end well for you.
No, neither of us. I thought it was a great little battle there. I think you called it right on your last little review there. Nothing I don't think any of us could do there. I was clearly alongside, and we just got stuck together, and you know what this car's like. So, yeah, I mean, Paul defended really, really well. I was giving it absolutely everything to try and get by, one way or another and things like that. And, I wanted to get a good run off of the corner, so you can't obviously run wide. So I was always going to squeeze him there. And I think as he sort of bounced on the Coppice curb, that was it. The sim kind of determined that as us making contact. And, yeah, fortunately, he just come across the front of me as so happens with the car. I braked like straight away, hoping that he could get some sort of control, but it sent him around, unfortunately, and into the wall. So yeah, a bit bit gutted. I hope it gets deemed a racing incident because that was nothing more than what it was. But yeah, I'm just gutted for Paul because obviously it should have been a guaranteed podium for him. Whether it was first or second, we'll never know now.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of your own meeting, it was a bit of a strange one. Is it fair to say?
Oh, it was pretty good actually. The first race was good. Felt like we had a bit of pace. Sutton clearly had the edge on us in the first one. Like, me and George swapped a couple of times just to sort of see if we could conserve tyres and have a go. But he was able to manage that gap at about 3/10 and all the places that you need to get absolutely right to make sure that you're not vulnerable. He did, so we couldn't really get a run.
No.
Race 2.
It was very quick onto the back straight, wasn't he?
He was, yeah, he was. And coming out of the chicane as well. So,
yeah.
Like, we could have perhaps sent one into the chicane, but it would have been a send. And yeah,
he's very good on the brakes, though.
Wouldn't have ended well. Yeah. Well, the one place
he's the hardest person to overtake, isn't he?
True, but that was the one place me and George felt like he was braking a bit earlier, like we could have actually had a go. But like I said, we never really got into a position to do it. So yeah, I felt like he was just managing that. Race 2 had a weird moment where actually I did make contact with Sutton going up the hill, and my car shifted into first and nearly popped the engine. I dropped back about 6 or 7 places. Somehow managed to get it changed up, but it wouldn't change up for ages. It just kept sitting there like. But yeah, I managed to get back to 8th or something like that. So I was pretty happy with that. And even the result that I just got there at the end, that'll do. Yeah. I think we're getting John Roberts, unfortunately, before
we're getting the greatest hits montage of you from this race, and we've just seen John Roberts going into the gravel. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Or?
Yeah, I mean that was just we're inside each other there, so yeah, so it's just
it's a family show, Alex.
Yeah, well, exactly. I was just about to say it. I mean, it's just not good, is it, for me there? So, but yeah. So again, John defending hard, and yeah. So
well, we'll see what
of touch, but you know what it's like. Yeah, so it's not good. So I'll definitely take a penalty for that, unfortunately. But yeah.
We will see what the stewards have to say, but just put your team principal's hat on for a minute, and it was a much better race meeting, I think, this week than it was last time.
Oh, much better. Yeah, definitely. The guys performed really, really well. I mean, the biggest thing that we said was try to avoid getting any penalties. So yeah, sorry guys, I'll put my hands up and I dropped the ball there. I think on that last one. So, but yeah, so we've definitely shown we've got what it takes to mix it. It's only race meeting number 3, so there's a long, long way to go. So yeah. I feel like this should be the sort of start of our running, new liveries and everything else like that done as well. So yeah, it was good.
And of course, it started how you meant to go on by Wojciech jumping the start, of course, as well.
Well, yeah, that probably wasn't plan A, but yeah, but it's still a good meeting from Woj. I mean, he obviously he fought back well in that first one, got the win in the second, and a good result in the third as well. So he'll still score a good clutch of points.
Indeed. And before you go, obviously, if you want to give a shout out to the sponsors, anyone you want to say hello to?
Nice livery, new livery, by the way.
Thanks, Adam. Yeah, well, to you guys for doing the broadcast as always. Great job. Thanks very much. Better reverse grids next time, please.
Yeah. You need to send us more money. We've been through this.
Yeah. I'll try. Everyone at Evolution Racing team, all the guys that sort of work together, communicating well on Discord and that tonight. So a good bit of banter going in there. So I'm really enjoying the atmosphere in there. So to Logitech G and to Speedcaf, SDK Gaming, Simpius PC Systems, and to basically all the guys that are supporting the team. Thanks very much.
All right, nice one. Well, thanks very much, Alex, again for joining us. And I believe, Adam, you've got your choice of drivers to pick up next.
Cool. Cheers, Alex, by the way. Just as we say goodbye to Alex, Michael Blake disappears from the interview room as well. So that must mean that we're down to Adam McNally to join us for a quick word after the race. Here he is now, joins us up in the in the interview room. Top 10 results in the final race, and the return to Donington, Adam, and it's been a pretty chaotic one for at least from us in the commentary box. What was it like actually racing in it?
Oh, it was great. I had really good fun. Some great battles with Maciek and Mark in race 2. That was epic. Especially that full lap me and Mark done side by side all the way around till he got it into the final chicane.
Oh, I think we caught that.
Race
that was
3.
great. Yeah.
Race 3 again. Great battling all the way through. Made some places up. Saw a couple of the pro lads come through. Just let them pass. There's no point taking them out or myself out of a good position for race 3. I mean, race 1 didn't quite go to plan. A slow car in front was lap 1. I braked to avoid it and sent myself round. So I had a poor start race 1, but 2 and 3 made up for it.
And in some of the main areas we've been seeing the action today was that final chicane. If you could really set somebody up there, you ended up going flying down the front straight.
Yeah, definitely. If you can set the run up, it was better to try and attack on the exit than it was on the entry, because trying to get it stopped on that entry is quite hard anyway, even if you're in the lead. So if you can just get a better line through it and get a better run out, turn 1 seems to be the best place to make the move.
3 race meetings so far this season. Brands Indy, then we went to Mosport 2 weeks ago, Donington today. Which race meeting would you say is the best one for you so far?
Oh, this one. For points scoring wise, this one. But I think the most fun I've had was Mosport last week. Really enjoyed that track.
Cool. Just having a quick look actually to see where we're heading off to next week, in fact, actually. Just having a quick look.
Is it Cotter?
It is
Is
Cota.
it the same as MX5s?
It is Cota, yes, it is, yeah.
Oh.
It's a Cota
Great.
West as well.
Never done it.
I think,
Couldn't even tell you which direction it goes from after turn 1. Well, obviously, they have the S's, does it? No, I don't know after that.
I think
it goes left during the S's, doesn't it? And it meets onto the middle of the back straight is what I believe it does anyway.
Oh, best get some laps in.
It's not too bad actually. It's just a little tricky little chicane, and that's basically it. That's kind of all you've got to deal with, really.
Right. Oh, nice one.
So it's not too bad.
So bad.
Well, before we let you go,
it should be fun.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Hopefully the drivers are too. Sounds like it anyway. Before we let you go, Azza, do you want to send a quick shout out to anyone?
Yeah, just the usual, you lads for the broadcast, the people that do the work behind the scenes. Excite Energy, our main sponsor. Motorsport Days Live, Prio Premature Baby Foundation, the Race Mentor, Lux Sim 24, and ER12 Gaming. And that's it.
Great.
Well done if you've remembered all that. Well done.
The list's getting longer. I'm going to have to start writing them down.
It's like my house memory recall from back in secondary school. Well, the Excite Energy iRacing car was flying today, Adam, and yeah, thanks for taking the time to come and speak to us.
Right, thank you very much.
There you go. In year 7, it was the London Underground stations, which I won. Then it was World's Longest Rivers in year 8, and then Presidents in year 9. Won all 3 of them.
Oh God, there you go. There you go.
Good memory recall. Right.
So we need to get you to talk about the sponsors then the next time we do a race.
There you go. Yeah, that's job for me. Right, we've got Paul Smith.
I can remember mid 2000s F1 results, and that's about all I can remember.
There you go. You and me on Mastermind. That'd be good.
That's it.
Specialist subject. Paul Smith is waiting to talk to us. So too Stalin Chepelevsky, who joined him on the podium.
We have to get Paul Smith because it just has to be done. I think after that one, Smith of course was on for well, who knows what he was on for, but we do know that he's now in the commentary box with us. Paul, hello mate.
Hello.
Hello. All right then. So that race was going exceptionally well until it wasn't. But I have to say, I have to say that I think that's one of your best races in the BSRTC. Would you agree with that?
I was so focused and just putting every ounce of effort into that race, not missing. I mean, I was missing the odd apex here and there, which helped Jamie catch up. I wish I'd have missed another Apex later on, but that's a different story. And then, but I was just focused on just trying to hit my marks, get my Apexes right, and defend. Bless you, Adam.
Thank you.
And defend defend in places where I knew that I would have to defend. And I think it got to the point where Jamie started burning through his tyres, actually. Which I got a little cheeky on lap 10 down at the chicane, but my excuse is he forced me onto the curb, which kicked my car across him. So that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it.
Do you think that? Sorry, I was just going to ask quickly. Do you think that your experience of the circuit and having watched a lot of races here and having driven a lot of races here helped you in this situation?
I think in general, my defensive driving in the last couple of years has really come on, and I think it was mainly because I've had lots of practice at it. But that it's a good knowledge of the circuit, knowing when you need to defend. I was seeing some people out there today who were defending way too early, or make it really obvious that they were defending into corners that you didn't really need to defend into, and I was able to get past them with those with them doing that because they were compromising the line.
The old defending fresh air business that we talk about a lot.
Yeah, there were people. I was coming out of Coppice in the first race, and there were people pulling right over to the right hand side of the back straight at the start of the straight. I'm like, what are you doing? I've got no overlap. It's called your line. Only defend when it gets close to the corner if you feel that I'm going to make a move.
I did say.
I'm away with trade secrets here, aren't I?
The thing is, it's going to be quite interesting when you watch this back, because I was saying on a couple of occasions with I think 2 or 3 laps to go, I was saying, he's got to defend the white line earlier on, just so that you don't risk giving that overlap. But I take it you already had it under control. You don't need my advice. You've done enough of this.
I don't know about completely under control. I wish I had a heart rate monitor on for that race, because I could feel it. I could actually feel my heart going. It was that intense. But what happened between me and Alex there? It's one of those unfortunate things. And
I was saying on the commentary. Sorry, I was saying on the commentary that I don't think it would have happened in a real race the way that your cars collided. No. I think it was. I think the physics. I think physics themselves wouldn't have caused that issue, because you'd have just bashed door handles. Because you were turning right at the time. You'd have just kept going. I think. It's
because it was right at our old favourite, the quarter panel.
Just bounced over the curb.
Wheel. Well. Some would say he didn't give me the room to go anywhere but the curb. But anyway,
Oh no, I wasn't. No, sorry, I wasn't insinuating anything. I was just saying the fact of the matter was that you bounced over the curb.
Did end up going over the curb.
And I think that what that did,
it pushed the car a little bit wider.
Literally only. I mean, we're watching from a great shot here, the helicopter shot, and he only sort of gave you about, I'd say, 2 or 3 inches of understeer more than what you would have had, and that was enough, I think. But that's not, again, we said on the commentary that we thought that it was a racing incident purely because we didn't think that Alex gave you a lot of room. But it's one of those ones, isn't it?
It's difficult. So, but end of the day, it's like I've been saying to a couple of us, and like to sell in as well. I'm looking at the positives here. I was able to hold off a multiple champion in Jamie Rushworth and one of the fastest drivers in World Championships, racing multiple World Championship series on iRacing. I was able to hold them off. A fat Yorkshireman from Halifax able to do that. I'm quite proud of that, really.
And the thing is, you did it. I think that you showed. You showed good pace today as well, though. It wasn't just the defending; it was the fact that you, especially race 1, your pace was very strong. You're in the top 10. I can't remember exactly where you finished in that one, but you show this season. It feels like you found something else in yourself.
No, I wouldn't necessarily agree with that, because at the opening round, I was just I wasn't really feeling it. Mosport a little bit more, but tonight it just seemed to click. We seemed to have a setup that really worked around here and looked after his tyres as well, which I think a few others didn't do. And
you were still getting good exits at the end of. Sorry, you were still getting good exits at the end of the race. I was noticing that, and it was really obviously down to that work earlier on.
I knew from the first race that if I could keep ahead of Rushworth, he'd burn through his tyres, because that's what happened in the first race. He burnt through his tyres, and I ended up getting a run on him. So I knew what I could do against Rushworth. Alex was a bit of an unknown factor to me, but I knew at least I had that over Jamie. So I was just determined to keep ahead of him, which I did.
And I guess,
but yeah, it's how these things go. But we're on to Kota next week. On to Kota. That's what it is.
That's it. And the thing is, obviously as well, when you because of the chaos behind you at the start, you were probably able to do a couple more laps where you weren't really stressing the car and the tyres too hard, and you were able to just keep the temperatures under
I had
control
my
a
head
bit.
down there.
You were going for it.
I was going for it. I want to get as much of a gap over them what behind them at the start of that final race as I possibly could, I tell you.
I tell you what, you watch that back, and I think you'll really enjoy that last race for most of it anyway. But I think that when you see the chaos behind you, I don't know if you did see any of it just in the mirror or anything, but yeah, when you see it all, you're going to have a little chuckle, I think.
There was everything. We were hearing smoke earlier as well.
Adam was,
smoke, that's a new one.
Yeah. So I mean, God knows, God knows what's going on there. But yeah, Paul, always a pleasure, mate. Give the shout out to the sponsors, anybody you like.
Well. To be fair, I was always going to say this, and I'll say it again. We're racing with Dave Crozier in his thoughts and his whole family. So Dave and Ali and everyone in the family, we're thinking of him through this time. But thanks to Fanatec Overclockers. You can find our affiliate links with them on our social media. The Simon Racing Report, Simortal, Smart Time Productions, Phoenix Racing, and I always forget one sponsor, so I'll leave it at that.
Did you do Calder Rescue? Did you say that?
Calder Rescue! Thank you, Calder Rescue! Thank you for rescuing me.
Hey, no problem.
Take it easy, guys.
All right, then. See you later, mate. Right, then. Well, Paul Smith. Just devastating last lap for him, Adam, but he'll be encouraged with how he drove that one.
Yeah. I think after a while, and he's going to be cool with that, and he was in the end. But I can relate to him with the whole heart beating out of your chest moment. Just from the days I used to race in this series, God knows what. I mean,
we've all led races on iRacing before, and won races, and it really is a different animal, isn't it? When you are in the front, you know, God knows, like sometimes you even forget to breathe, because you're thinking so hard about this, and you know, it's a tough one.
One thing I will say from that crash is that I find it remarkable that contact was enough to break the rear suspension on Paul's Kia. Really, but
crazy, actually, crazy.
Right,
because it was a very, very mild contact, I guess.
Right, he has been waiting patiently. So we'll grab him for the final word tonight, and it's Stelian Chepalevsky, who very nearly gate crashed the top two battle in the run up to the line. So we'll ask him what he saw from what went on the final lap, and he joins us now in the interview in the commentary box. Stelian Chepalevsky, welcome.
Hey, good evening, bro.
How are you?
How are you guys?
Yeah, I'm good.
It's long time, man.
Very good, man. Very good.
Yeah, long time to talk to you guys.
Yeah.
So, do you enjoy the racing?
Definitely. Final lap then. Obviously, Alex and Paul collide, and then just in front of you, Wojciech and Jamie start going at it, and you almost had a chance to get a win there on the final lap.
Nah, I didn't think about the win. I was hoping just to make really good exit and push Bosch through the final line, but didn't work. Probably if we had another 100 meters, was going to work. You know me, guys. I'm more team driver. I don't care so much for personal wins. I always enjoy when we work like team.
Obviously,
It gives me a lot of pleasure.
You've been away with the rallycross stuff for a while. Come back to this. Is there anything from the rallycross racing that you've used in the BSRTC?
You know, those cars are quite similar. I mean, both rallycross and the Kia, they are understeering a lot on tarmac. So it is not really difficult. To be honest, I'm quite surprised that like I am up to speed from week 1. It's just, you know, because I was 1 year off, it was quite difficult for me to make that close racing.
Yeah.
If you miss for 1 year, that close racing is really difficult. But I miss the BSR so much, guys. I didn't run last year because the rallycross was the same evening with the BSR, so I had to go there. But this year is different. I mean, the World Cross, I think, is going to be Saturdays. So I am back, and I'm super happy.
Oh yeah, because in the heats you've got what, like six or so cars, and then in the semi-finals and the finals, I think it's sort of similar. So going from that to racing against 35 cars again, it must be pretty daunting.
It's completely different. I mean, on rallycross is at some point is you can make places only by if somebody make mistake, and on BSR you have to create, you know, opportunities, and that's the main thing. That is what I really miss, because, you know, you race for 20 minutes and your brain must work on, I don't know, 10,000 RPM. You have to think always your next move for attack and immediately have to think to defend. It's crazy. I love it. I miss so much this. I miss it a lot.
Well, next week we go to Kota, and it's not even the full layout. I think it's the west one. Is that going to be another track? Well, I think it's a track that many of the drivers are going to have to practice, because it's not one that we go to very often.
That's something new for me too. I mean, we raced Dakota several times with the Kia, but the full layout, I want to see how it works. And we used to have some problems with the FPS there.
Yeah.
I hope with the VR, iRacing fixed something for the VR, so now it's quite smooth. Let's hope it's good, but yeah, definitely it's going to be really great racing. And I'm not surprised, but probably surprised in the good way. There is already 3 meetings and everybody runs so clean, and the fight is so enjoyable. It's just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Well, yeah, 13 places gained in just the final race alone today. Well, Stellian, it's been a pleasure as always. Before we let you go, do you want to send a quick shout out to anyone?
Oh yes, of course. As you know, our sponsors, Apex Racing and Evolution Racing. So I want to thank Logitech and Speedcafe.com, and I want to thank also the new guy who is painting the Nerdworks, Terry Renner. He do amazing job on the paints, and yeah, the SDK Gaming. So, do I forget somebody? Yeah, I think I forgot somebody.
Oh, don't worry. If not, I think
Alex had it covered earlier on. I think you're right.
Simputers.
There you go.
System.
He won't thank us if we missed that one now. Stellian, mate, it's always good to talk to you. It's always good to have you here, and hopefully we'll talk to you again in the next one.
Yeah, thank you guys. Have a good evening.
You too. See you in a bit.
You too, mate.
Thank you.
Always good to catch up with Stellian Chepelevsky. We've holidayed with him in the past, and he's a great guy, and he really has thrown himself headfirst into sim racing in the last couple of years. His nutrition is sort of second to none in the sim racing world, really, isn't it, at the moment?
Oh God, That definitely makes me feel bad. Well, that's all I'm saying on that. But yeah.
But the point is that he's very dedicated, and
definitely.
he does this series for fun. But he's still one of the best drivers in it.
Really is, and obviously when we first started covering the series, he just moved, and we saw him come back to the series in 2015, the first time we did the Pro Championship, and he was did a good job there. He was really finding his feet in the beginning, and got a win in the final race meeting of the year at Daytona. Then the following year, he was a title contender, just fell away towards the end, and he's always there or thereabouts, to coin a Steve Bruce phrase, every year really. And I'm sure we'll see the same again since he's come back from Rallycross. It looks like he's lost none of it really in that time.
Yeah, I think Showdown has to be his aim, doesn't it? And as for there's a few drivers like around that area in the championship. You know, like the likes of Stephen Baxter and Christian Rose and George Simmons and Pete Harrod and those sort of guys who are going to be there or thereabouts at the end. So he's going to be wanting to be in and around that area of the championship, I think. But it's nearly 11 o'clock, so it's just about time for us to go. But Adam, a final word on tonight's action, which, in my opinion, I think was absolutely brilliant.
All right, it was great to be back here. Many years in the making, and back on the schedule. 3 terrific races with, even though some of the expected front runners have ended up winning them, the likes of Ash Sutton, Jamie Rushworth and Wojciech Savidovic over the course of the evening. It kept us on the edge of our seat right until the very end who was going to win them. And hopefully we can see the same at COTA next week. Just before I hand it back to you to send us out, I'll do one more shout out for Michael Blake to Newman's Nibbles, the cake company. And
Michael Cake,
Michael Bake, Michael whatever. It's been a good evening, and hopefully we can have more of the same at COTA next week. I promise you I haven't had anything to drink. I think I'm just tired. That's what it is. Yeah, here we go.
Definitely. So, I mean, yeah, Circuit of the Americas upcoming. It's going to be a completely different test for the drivers, but one I'm sure which they will rise to the challenge of. Right then, everybody. From all of us here at Apex Racing TV, it's been a pleasure to bring you the BSRTC from Donington Park this evening. From myself, Andrew Woodhouse, from Adam Bath, who's been doing the cameras as well. So don't forget that it's such a difficult job to do the cameras and the commentary at the same time and be good at it. Adam does just that. So definitely bear that in mind, everybody. But yeah, it's been a terrific race meeting, and we're looking forward to joining you in the next one in a week's time in Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. So from all of us here, it's good night from the BSRTC. Good night.